Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michael Mingo, founder of Together We Can, and a lot of people ask me, how did you start up an organization while in college? I know a lot of you college students out there are pressed on time, you're busy with schoolwork, busy with extracurriculars, but I'm going to show you how to start up an organization with 3 main things. Coming up after this. Now, we want to get to the main thing. How do I start up an organization? At that, a nonprofit. Further than that, while I'm in college, we're young, we all have these passions, we're so driven, we got a lot of things we want to do in the world, but we just don't know about how going about doing it. Well, I'm going to show you. So those 3 things that I mentioned earlier was passion, relationship, and consistency. Those are the 3 things you're really going to need to start up a nonprofit organization. And I'll go now. So when I first started my nonprofit, it's called Together We Can, and I always had a deep love for the Bronx, the South Bronx. I'm from the South Bronx, spent almost my entire life in the South Bronx other than college. Came up to college, got a great education, was blessed and fortunate to meet the many different kinds of people I ran into. But I always had that deep love for the South Bronx. So, as you might know, if I haven't told you already, the South Bronx is New York's 15th congressional district. Unfortunately, the South Bronx is the poorest district in the nation. The median income annually is a little bit under $30,000 a year, and that's quite low, being that our national annual median income is somewhere around $50,000. So that's quite low. It's dramatically lower than the national income. So yeah, growing up in the Bronx, I have a lot of great friends, a lot of neighbors, a lot of people in my community that have so much special talents, so much special abilities, just so much things they want to do, and it's all positive. I've always been through it with them. I've always seen them try to pursue it, but they never knew how to go about pursuing their passions. And a lot of their passions dealt with community change, influencing others to do things that they saw was very positive in the community, but they weren't able to go out doing these things because they didn't know how to. And that's what I don't like. I don't like when someone has all of these goals and ambitions and these things they want to see done in their community, but they don't know how to do it. So right there, they give up, because they don't have anyone to encourage them or anyone to educate them or help them to go by meting these things out. It hurts me. And this is part of the reason why I started Together We Can. So research. This is what I did. I'm a type of person, I want things to be perfect my first time around. Now, I won't be naive. I know things can't always be perfect, and failure is good because we learn from our mistakes. But I do generally try to get things right the first time. So I did a ton of research on how to start a nonprofit organization. Most of my research came from books, YouTube videos, and people that have been through what I was going through. I talked to people who went through the process of starting a nonprofit organization. I read tons of books before I went to bed, when I woke up in the morning, when I had lunch breaks at work, when I had study breaks between classes, and when I just had free time. I read so many books, and it really helped. Not only did I read books, I'm a visual learner, so I like to watch videos. I like to see people's faces. I like people to show me what they did. So I watched a ton of videos, and it was so helpful. If you're going to start up a nonprofit, I encourage you, do research, read books, watch videos as you're doing right now. You're watching me, and talk to people who have been through the process. There's no better way to learn than talking to people who have done what you are trying to do. So next, we want to determine our focus. We have all these things that we want to do, all these things that we want to accomplish and see change in our community, but we have to narrow it down to a focus. And by doing this, we have to create a mission statement and ways that we're going to meet that mission statement. See, this mission statement is very, very important. It not only educates people who look into your organization and show what your organization stands for and values, but it also helps to keep you and your workers on task. Now, when you're trying to meet that mission statement, remember we have a mission statement and then we have ways that we try to meet that mission statement. Whether it be goals for the day, the week, the month, the year, etc., we have to create ways that we're going to tackle that mission statement. All right, moving along, we're making progress, guys. So next, we want to recruit people. Now, recruiting, I tell everybody, is one of the most important stages. Recruiting is huge. When you get people to join your organization, you want people that's going to stand for exactly what you stand for. At least hold what you value at the core, whether it be relationships, whether it be hard work, whether it be consistency. You want people that has those core values that are similar to yours. And you also want people that are as driven as you. See, I always tell everybody, I'd rather take time to recruit people and bring people aboard than have to take more time to get rid of people or tell people that they can't be in the organization anymore that has failed us or went completely against what the organization stands for. So take time in the recruiting process. Make sure you have time to talk to people, build that relationship, see how that person really is. Take your time. There's no rush. Take your time. Make sure you are building a core group of strong individuals that will bring your organization to its fullest potential. It's so important. Now, going even further, now that we have recruited the people that we need on the organization, we can move on. Relax, cálmate. It's gonna all work out. It will all work. So after we recruited people, we want to build our social media and we want to market ourselves. This is where it gets a little fun. So we live in a day and age, ladies and gentlemen, where social media is huge. Social media can connect you to so many people, not only in this country, but around the entire world. So this is where you get to do some research on other organizations. See, you want to build your Instagram platforms, your Facebook platforms, whether it be Snapchat platforms, whether it be Twitter platforms. You want to build it with people who have similar focuses to you. Maybe it might be similar organizations. Maybe it just might be nonprofits in general. And you want to also build it with people who have interest in what it is that you are doing. When you do this, you build a great core group of people that you can share ideas with, have people join alongside you to help things that you can do in your community. You want to build that core group of people, that core group of organizations that are similar to yourself. Now, websites. Websites are so important. This is the main way to educate the people that look into your organization. You want to educate people. You want to keep people informed. You want to update people. This website should look very appealing. Now, for a person like me, Together We Can, I want more of a professional approach. So I try to find logos. I've purchased logos. I've had people help me make logos that look very professional. I've had people help me design websites, and I've learned how to design websites myself that are very, very professional. If you want to learn how to design websites, I recommend a great place to go. I believe it's called Wix.com. You can always message me or contact me via phone, Instagram, Facebook for more information on how to create websites. But yeah, websites are just so important. You want a good website. On my website, I like to put updates. I like to keep people informed. I have my mission statement in there. I have a whole bunch of pictures of me and other staff members in the organization. It's just a great way to get people to see a feel for your organization. Keep people informed and really just influence people. That website is so important. So I encourage you, take your time on making a website. It's one of the most important things you can do in making a nonprofit organization. And don't forget one other thing when connecting with people on social media and connecting with many other nonprofit organizations, be on the lookout for people who have organizations that are exactly like yours. This is very important because so many nonprofits, so many organizations have failed because they try to do something that someone else is already doing. And that causes you to plumble. So be on the lookout for people that are doing the same exact thing. It's not always a bad idea to merge your organization with someone else who have established more of a following and more of a reputation for themselves. It's not always a bad thing. That's why I always say, take your time. Calmate. Calm down. It's going to be all right. So we're making progress, right? We've done our research. We've determined our focus. We are establishing a social media following. We're doing so much. But through every step, I want to encourage you, communication is key. Relationships is key. If you see my organization, you'll see that I always stress relationships. This is what I mean by that. A good way to establish a relationship. We are creating so many things that are starting up our nonprofit organization or moving it along in a direction that we want to go to. You are not a one-man or one-lady show. You have other people in your organization where their voices should feel like they are equally heard, equally counted as yours. Therefore, see what other people think about what you are doing. See how they feel. Not even related to the organization. See how their days are going. See how their lives are going, with permission, of course. But get to know the people in your organization. Establish those tight relationships. Because when you establish these relationships to when they fall to friendships, this encourages people to want to do things for you. This encourages people to want to do things with you. This encourages people to want to meet those goals that you want to meet. This brings out passion. So going a little further on communication, we're establishing these great relationships with our workers, co-workers, fellow co-workers, whatever you'd like to call them. We're doing this. People like each other. It's a very safe and positive environment. But here's some other things you need to know about communication. One thing that helps is to have good public speaking. Maybe the founder of the organization is not really much of a public speaker. Make sure you recruit people that can do public speaking. Make sure you recruit people that can talk to large amounts of crowds. Why this is important? Remember, you want to create change. You want to inspire people to join in on what you are doing. You want to encourage people, or you want to impact people for what you are trying to impact them for. And the only way to do this is to talk to people. And sometimes that might be in large crowds. So public speaking is very important. But here's another thing. Maybe you're not much of that public speaker. Maybe you're better at personal conversations. Personal conversations are great as well. If you're able to pull someone to the side and talk to them and establish a relationship, show empathy, show rapport, show that you're listening, show that you care, show that you want to get to know someone, you can inspire people through personal conversation. That is great as well. Both public speaking and personal conversation is key. Make sure you can impact people verbally and written. These are so important. So now, we're doing all of these wonderful things. We have passion. We're building relationships. We're communicating with people. We recruited people that have as much passion as us. It's a very passionate organization. It's a very friendly environment, positive environment, the way you want it to be, the way everyone wants it to be. Passion, relationships. Now we want consistency. And it's pretty simple. Be consistent with what it is that you're already doing. Be consistent with what is working. Be consistent. We want to always remain consistency. Just be constant. Always do what you're doing that is positive. It's great. It shows people that are following you how professional you are and how much you care to maintain what is going well, what is doing good, what you are doing well, what is just so good in the organization. Be consistent, guys. I can't stress it enough. Consistency is so important. Not only are you consistent with your relationships, you want to be consistent with your posts. You want to be consistent with what you put out there. If you are making videos or you are doing something that requires a weekly commitment or a monthly commitment or a yearly commitment, keep doing it. Be consistent with that. It's only building your reputation. It's keeping you on task, and it is making you more of a reliable organization. All right, guys, so we got passion, relationships, and consistency. We're doing everything we need to do. But I always want to remind you, always inspire and encourage the people that work with you that anything they do can be beneficial. Always make people feel like they are needed. Make people feel that they can bring something to the table. We all have different mindsets. We all have different abilities. We all have different outlooks on life. And we all have so many different answers. This diversity is great for an organization. You're just making your organization more diverse. So bring people in and encourage them and help them to find ways that they can bring their diversity to help your organization. So there it is. We come to the end of our video. I gave you a lot of things of what helped me successfully start a nonprofit organization in college, and I hope you can take these things and do it for yourself. Passion, relationships, consistency. So important. If you have any questions for me, if you want me to go further in depth with anything that I've already explained, contact me. You can contact me on Facebook, Michael LaRon Mingo, Instagram. You'll see it in the links below. You'll see everything you need to see. Just contact me. Passion, relationships, consistency. I'm Michael Mingo, founder of Together We Can, and I'll see you next time.